Hello, and welcome to my channel, where I mostly share my love of fragrance and enjoy my collection. In this video, I'll be sharing my Aerin Lauder perfume collection. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let's get started. I wanted to review some new Aerin perfumes that I picked up recently, and I thought I would just go ahead and give an overview of my entire Aerin fragrance collection. Aerin is a perfume house created by Estee Lauder's granddaughter, Aerin Lauder, and the brand can be purchased on the Estee Lauder website as well as at other retailers. And first, let me acknowledge that Aerin perfumes are pretty expensive, and that's why it's actually taken me a while to get to try several of the scents. I do try to wait for Estee Lauder to have a good sale, and I've also heard that you can sometimes find these at cosmetic company outlets. Now, when it comes to the perfumes, I think that the Aerin bottles are really beautiful. I like the clean, minimal design, and the glass bottles have a nice weight to them. And they have caps that are made to look kind of like stone or minerals, and those are kind of lightweight, but I think that they're really pretty and, kind of tie the whole presentation together. And moving on to the scents, the first one I have here is Fleur de Peony, which I believe is one of the newer additions to the line. It came out in 2020. And this one has top notes of lychee, pomelo, and mandarin orange, mid notes of peony, cyclamen, and jasmine, and base notes of musk, sandalwood, and ambroxan. And this scent starts off with a lot of fruity notes. I can pick out the lychee and the pomelo, and there's definitely a sharpness to the fruit. And it's also heavily floral without being overpowering. And it doesn't smell like any specific floral note. It smells kind of like a nice mix. And then the musk starts to lighten the scent. And it also has an overall kind of fresh feeling to it. And there's definitely is also some woodiness in the base. And it also has a really nice kind of deep ambery warmth to it. And I think that this is a very pretty scent. It's soft and musky, but it also has a nice kind of like fruity floralness to it, along with that nice warm kind of ambery base. So I think that this is a nice scent. I don't think that it's anything remarkable, but if you like, soft floral scents, I definitely think that this is one to try. And the next one I have here is Hibiscus Palm, and this one came out in 2017, and I really like the cap on this one. I think the gem that they made it look like is really nice and colorful and just gives it kind of a cheery feeling. And this one has top notes of hibiscus, ylang ylang, palm leaf, lotus, and ginger, mid notes of frangipani and white flowers, and base notes of coconut milk, vanilla, and musk. And this scent starts off with a burst of tropical flowers and a lot of coconut. And the coconut is more on the fresh side than sweet, but it does have kind of a creamy sweetness to it. And the florals do continue throughout the scent. You can pick up a lot of that frangipani and just those kind of tropical flowers that you would see in like Hawaii or other kind of tropical areas. And there's also a little greenness to it, but it's definitely not a strong note in the scent. And in the base, the vanilla further brings some sweetness, but the standout notes here are really the coconut and the tropical flowers. And if you're looking for a very beachy, summery fragrance, this is definitely a great choice. The coconut is really nice without being overly sugary, and mixed with the tropical flowers, it's really pleasant. It's really soft and sweet, and it's just a really nice scent for summer. And then I have Limone di Sicilia, and I believe this is not part of the core line. It is priced a little bit higher than the main perfumes, and I'm not sure if it's limited edition or not, but this has a nice gold cap with a braided rope trim that's not on the other bottles. And this has top notes of lemon, lily of the valley, bergamot, and Italian mandarin, mid notes of Egyptian jasmine, May rose, and pink pepper, and base notes of ambroxan and oak moss. And as expected, this opens with a nice burst of citrus, and there's also a good amount of the rose here as well as the other floral notes, and it's not really sweet. It's definitely more fresh, but it does have a little kick to it. I wouldn't say it's spicy, but there's definitely some sharpness here. And there's also some greenness, but it's not too much for me because I don't like a lot of green notes in my scents. And it dries down to a really citrusy floral that feels a little bit musky to me. And I do really like lemony scents, and I wish that it was a little bit more lemony and also a little bit sweeter. But I do think the scent is really nice. And I also think that this is kind of similar to Valentino's Donna Born in Roma Yellow Dream, which is also a lemon and rose scent. They're not the same. They're definitely not dupes, but they do kind of have that same nice combination of lemon and rose. So I do think that this is a really pretty scent if you do like citrus and rose scents. And next up is Evening Rose, and this came out in 2013. And this has top notes of blackberry and cognac, mid notes of rose centifolia and Bulgarian rose, and base notes of incense, amber, and pepper. And this was actually the first Aerin fragrance that I ever purchased, and I find it's very true to its name. It's a deep rose fragrance that's perfect for evening. And this opens up with juicy blackberry, and I also get that cognac note. There's definitely a boozy quality to the scent, and it's paired alongside a really sweet, fresh smelling rose. And the base is warm and spicy, and you do really need to like incense because that's very prominent in this fragrance. But I think that overall, this is a really nice scent for rose lovers. It's a very fruity, spicy, boozy rose scent, and I think it's really beautiful. Then I have a couple scents from the Premier collection that Aerin has, and that's somehow even more expensive than the regular line. And these only come in 3.4-ounce bottles, whereas the rest of the ones I have here are 1.7-ounce bottles. And the first one I have is Evening Rose Door, and this is a flanker to the Evening Rose that I just reviewed. And this one came out in 2017. And you'll see that the bottles for this collection are gold colored, but they're actually slightly translucent, so you can still see the liquid inside, which I think is really cool. So I think the bottles are very pretty. And this one has top notes of blackberry, lychee, and pink pepper, mid notes of May rose, Bulgarian rose, and honey, and base notes of incense, amber, patchouli, and leather. And this opens up very similar to Evening Rose with that blackberry, but it also has a really strong, jammy rose. The rose is not as fresh as in the regular Evening Rose. It's definitely less green. And there is also an addition of honey here, and that's making the scent sweeter than Evening Rose. But the incense is also still noticeable, so there's still a spiciness to the scent. And overall, I find that the scent is a warm, spicy, honeyed rose, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I do have to say that I prefer this version of Evening Rose to the regular one. I feel like it's sweeter. I love the jamminess of the rose, and it also feels a bit lighter somehow as well. So I do prefer this one, but I do still think that the regular Evening Rose is very nice. And the other scent I have in the Premier line is Tangier Vanille Door. And there is a regular Tangier Vanille, which I don't have, so I can't compare those. But this one does come in the same translucent gold bottle as the other one in the premium line. And this also came out in 2017. And it has top notes of plum, Bulgarian rose, and bergamot, mid notes of Madagascar vanilla, myrrh, and saffron, and base notes of crystal amber, cashmere wood, tonka bean, and sandalwood. And my first impression is that this is very spicy, and I'm also getting some of the nice plum in the opening. I've really been enjoying plum scents lately, so I was definitely intrigued by that. And I can also pick out a bit of the rose, but it's not really heavy. And I do love fragrances where rose and saffron are paired together, so I definitely think that it's a really nice combination here. And the vanilla is also sweet, and the amber and sandalwood bring in a nice, deep, warm feeling to the scent, as well as some woodiness. And overall, it's not a sugary vanilla, it's a sweet, rich, warm, spicy, ambery vanilla. And I think the scent is really beautiful, and the saffron and plum really give it a little something special than some other typical vanilla fragrances. So that's it for my review of my Aerin Lauder fragrance collection. I have to say, I do think there are some really beautiful scents in this line. I especially do find that I love the premium scents, the Evening Rose door and the Tangier Vanille door. And I also do really enjoy the regular Evening Rose and the other scents that I have, including Hibiscus Palm and Limone di Sicilia. There's just some really beautiful scents here, and I would encourage you to give them a try. Let me know what you think of the Aerin fragrance collection. Thank you for watching. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.